What's up, YouTube? It's been a while. How have you been? I've had quite a long summer. I was on tour from June 10 through the end of July. Clearly have not been posting many videos on this channel. It's kind of a bummer. I had high hopes for my involvement with this collab, and I have just found it kind of impossible to keep up with a weekly schedule. That said, my chosen subject on this channel primarily was wedding planning and being engaged and the sort of next step in my relationship with Lauren and all of the different things involved with that. And we have now hit the stretch run of that entire process. I am getting married in 1 month and 2 days, September 24. It is not that far away, and things are starting to sort of heat up in terms of the last minute, things that we have to get done, all of that stuff. So I have some stuff to talk about, and that's exciting. We actually met with our maitre d' a couple weeks ago before we went on family vacation and solidified the events happening during the ceremony and before and after the ceremony and sort of the order of the things that will happen at the reception. And I have been also working on the music list for the reception, which is kind of my favorite area of involvement. I also went out and did some tux shopping this past weekend, actually yesterday, with my groomsmen, and we are going to look positively dapper in our tuxedos. And I don't know, I am not feeling terribly stressed right now. I'm actually pretty much just excited and ready to go. A lot of people have been asking me if I'm nervous or if I'm having any sort of last minute doubts or questioning, my decision to get married. And my general answer to that is no, bring it on. Let's do this. I'm excited. I think one of the things that's really helping is that we have taken this approach that we want to do things our way. We want the wedding to be interesting and fun. We want it to reflect our personality. We are sort of going with a traditional format, but we're tweaking it in every single conceivable way possible to make it sort of interesting to us. I think the bottom line for us is that getting married is sort of a logical next step, but it's not something that we, have ever prioritized in our lives. I think Lauren's age is a factor in that because she's 23 years old. In my opinion, a 23-year-old shouldn't be prioritizing marriage. A 23-year-old should be worried about sort of figuring out what they're going to do for the rest of their lives, any sort of worldly pursuits that they have, and setting goals for themselves. And the good thing about us is that our relationship doesn't really stand in the way of that. If anything, our relationship is sort of fostering our individual pursuits because we pursue basically the same things, which is cool. One of the things I'm really excited about is the food at the wedding. It's pretty fantastic. I have a feeling the guests at the wedding are going to be actually confused by the amount of food they'll be getting because it's going to be a ridiculous amount of food. And there's an open bar, which is a plus. Speaking of food, my other sort of general update thing is that, yes, I was doing really well with the weight loss from March until about summer. I had lost about 30 pounds as of the beginning of July, and since the beginning of July, I have sort of fallen off the wagon, so to speak. I've gained back about 10 pounds, 12 pounds, something like that, of what I had lost. That is kind of a bummer, admittedly, but I also kind of just found it really difficult to control my diet during summer tour. And even in June, before I really started to backtrack, I had really fallen off my pace. I lost a couple pounds throughout the month of June, but it wasn't, the 1.5 pounds that I was averaging per week. To all of that, I say no big deal because this is sort of a journey that I didn't have a timeline for. It would be great if I could have stayed on the same pace, and then I'd be rolling into my wedding like probably 50 pounds lighter than when I started my diet in March. But that's not going to happen. So I'm going to deal with having lost, about 20 pounds, and that'll be awesome because that's 20 pounds that I've lost, and I'm healthier for it. I am going to start getting back on track If you are friends with me on MyFitnessPal, I will be making a reappearance to that application and getting back on track with that. I think we're going to have some themes in the next couple weeks, so stay tuned for that. I don't think we've completely finalized our themes yet, but I think the point is that at least 4 out of 5 LCE vloggers will be posting once a week from now until question mark. Hopefully it'll last for a little while. Have a good day.